He sat across from me in my office in Scottsdale, Arizona. A man named Robert Hayes, 62 years old, a retired high school principal, and the kind of fella who'd spent his whole life fixing other people's problems. But on that Tuesday morning in April, he couldn't even look me in the eye. His hands were folded in his lap like he was waiting for a verdict in a courtroom. "Dr. Holloway," he finally said, his voice barely above a whisper, "I think I'm done. I think this is just it for me. I've been practicing internal and lifestyle medicine for over 20 years now. And let me tell you, I've heard that sentence more times than I can count. Men in their 60s, 70s, even their 50s walking into my office with the same defeated look in their eyes. They're not really talking about their bodies. They're talking about their sense of self, their manhood, their marriage, their place in the world. And every single time I tell them the same thing I told Robert that morning. You're not done, not even close, and I'm going to prove it to you. Now, I want you to listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to share with you over the next little while is something I've seen transform the lives of hundreds of men just like Robert. Men who walked into my practice convinced they needed to pop a little blue pill for the rest of their lives, or worse, that they just had to accept this as part of getting older. Men who hadn't held their wives close in months, sometimes years. Men who'd started sleeping in separate bedrooms, telling themselves it was because of snoring, when really it was because they didn't know how to face the person they loved most. If any of that sounds familiar, I want you to do something for me right now. Take a deep breath. And please stop telling yourself you're finished, because I promise you you're not. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you held your wife close, just because? Not a peck on the cheek before heading out to Home Depot on a Saturday morning. Not a quick hug before bed. I'm talking about really holding her, feeling her breathe, letting yourself be present in that moment. If you can't remember, you're not alone. And if that question made your chest tighten a little bit, I want you to know that feeling, that right there is the beginning of something beautiful. Because the fact that you still care enough to feel that tightness means the door isn't closed, not by a long shot. Robert told me something that day that broke my heart. He said, "Doc, my wife Margaret and I, we've been married 38 years, and I swear to God, I can't remember the last time I felt like a man around her. I avoid her eyes in the morning. I pretend to be asleep when she comes to bed. I feel like a ghost in my own house." And friends, I've heard that exact story, almost word for word, from men all across this country. From guys in Phoenix, from guys in Kansas City, from guys who drove 6 hours from the middle of nowhere because they heard, I might have answers. And the truth is, the answers aren't hiding in a pharmacy. They're not locked away in some expensive specialist's office. They're right here, in the way you live your day, the way you move your body, the way you eat, the way you breathe, and the way you connect with the woman who stood beside you all these years. Here's the first thing I want you to understand, and this is going to sound almost too simple, but stick with me. Your body is not broken. It's just tired. It's tired in ways you haven't paid attention to, maybe for decades. And when I say tired, I don't mean the kind of tired that a good night's sleep fixes. I mean your blood vessels are tired, your nervous system is tired, your pelvic muscles, the ones most men don't even know they have, are tired and weak from sitting in a lazy boy for hours every evening watching the news. Now, let's talk about what's actually happening down there, because I think a lot of you've been told this is all about hormones, or it's all about age, or it's all about some mysterious thing you can't control. And that's just not true. The fact is, erectile function is about blood flow, plain and simple. When blood flows freely and strongly to where it needs to go, your body does what it's designed to do. When blood flow is weak, sluggish, restricted, your body struggles. And here's the kicker. Most men over 60 have sluggish blood flow, not because they're old, but because they've spent 30 or 40 years sitting too much, eating too much processed food, and not moving their bodies the way nature intended. Think about that for a second. You weren't built to sit in an office chair for 8 hours, then a car seat for an hour, then a couch for 3 hours. You were built to walk, to climb, to carry, to move. And when we stop moving, our circulation suffers. And when circulation suffers, everything else follows. So let me give you the very first thing I told Robert. And I want you to hear me when I say this, because it's so simple, you're going to be tempted to dismiss it. Don't. Every single day, for just 3 minutes, I want you to find a staircase and walk up it 2 steps at a time. Slowly, deliberately. Feel the muscles in your thighs and glutes engage. Breathe through it. That's it. 3 minutes, not 30, not an hour, 3 minutes. I can already hear some of you thinking, Dr. Holloway, 3 minutes of stairs is going to fix my problem. Come on. And I get it. We live in a country where we want the quick fix, the magic pill, the one weird trick. But let me tell you what happens when you do those 3 minutes every single day for 2 weeks. Your glutes, which are the largest muscle group in your body, start to wake up. The blood vessels running through your pelvis, the ones that feed the area we're talking about, start to open up. Your heart gets a little stronger. Your leg circulation improves. And here's what you'll notice first. Your mornings start to feel different. You'll wake up and your legs will feel lighter. Your feet won't feel cold the way they used to. And within a few weeks, for most men, something else starts coming back too. Robert came back to see me 21 days after that first appointment. He walked into my office, and I'm not kidding you, he looked 10 years younger. His shoulders were back, his eyes were bright. And the first thing he said to me was, Doc, my wife asked me yesterday if I was having an affair because she said I'm smiling too much. I laughed until I cried friends, because that right there is what it's all about. That's the real medicine. Now let me share something else with you, something I don't think enough doctors talk about, and it's a big reason why so many of you are stuck. Stress, and specifically the kind of chronic, low-grade stress that most American men carry around like a second skin. The stress about money, about retirement accounts, about grown kids who don't call enough, about aging parents, about feeling invisible in a culture that worships youth. This kind of stress doesn't just make you feel crummy, it literally restricts your blood vessels. It keeps your body in a constant fight or flight mode, which is the exact opposite of what your body needs to function sexually and romantically. See, your body has two modes. There's the go, go, go mode, where you're alert and ready to handle problems. And there's the rest and connect mode, where you can relax, digest your food properly, sleep deeply, and yes, experience intimacy. Most men over 60 are stuck in go, go, go mode, even when they're physically sitting still. Their minds are racing, their shoulders are tense, their jaws are clenched, and they wonder why nothing works the way it used to. So here's the second thing I want you to try. Every evening, before bed, I want you to sit somewhere quiet, just you, maybe by a window, maybe on the back porch if the weather's nice, and I want you to breathe 4 seconds in through your nose. Hold for 4. 8 seconds out through your mouth. Do that for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes of breathing. No app needed. No fancy meditation cushion. Just you and your breath. And I promise you, if you do this every single night for 2 weeks, you're going to notice something shift. Your sleep will deepen. Your morning mood will lighten. And your body will start to remember what relaxation actually feels like. I had a patient named Frank, 71 years old, retired truck driver from Tulsa, who came to see me absolutely convinced that his problem was physical. He wanted testosterone shots. He wanted the pills. He wanted anything that would fix him fast. I told him, Frank, before we talk about any of that, I want you to try 5 minutes of breathing every night for 3 weeks, just that, and then come back. He almost walked out of my office. He thought I was pulling his leg. But his wife, bless her heart, she was in the room and she said, Frank, just try it. What do you have to lose? 3 weeks later, Frank came back and he sat down across from me with this sheepish look on his face. And he said, Dr. Holloway, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think my problem wasn't between my legs. I think it was between my ears. That's the truth for so many of you. The body is willing, the body is capable, but the mind is so wound up, so full of noise, so burdened with worry that it can't get out of its own way. Now, let me talk to you about food for a minute because this is where a lot of men lose me, and I need you to hear me out. I'm not going to tell you to go vegan. I'm not going to tell you to give up steak. I'm not going to tell you to drink kale smoothies every morning. You're grown men. You know what a healthy meal looks like. I'm not here to lecture you. What I am going to tell you is that what you eat every day either helps your blood flow or hurts it. That's it. There's no magic food. There's no superfood that's going to fix everything overnight. But there are patterns. Berries, dark leafy greens, nuts, especially walnuts. Fatty fish like salmon a couple of times a week. Beets, which honestly, I wish more American men would eat because they're fantastic for circulation. Dark chocolate in small amounts and lots of water. And what to cut back on? You already know. The ultra-processed stuff, the sugary cereals, the fast food runs that have become a habit, The third cup of coffee when the second one already had you jittery. The late night ice cream that's become a ritual. I'm not saying never, I'm saying less, because every meal is either a step toward the man you want to be or a step away from him. Robert told me something really interesting after we'd been working together for about 6 weeks. He said, "Doc, I used to think food was just fuel, something to shut up the hunger. But now I look at my plate and I think, is this going to help me feel like myself? Or is it going to keep me stuck?" That's the mindset shift I want for all of you. Not dieting, not restriction, just awareness, just asking the question. Now, here's where I want to get into something a little more delicate, because we've been talking about bodies and blood flow and breathing. But I want to talk about your marriage for a minute, because I've seen this pattern over and over again, and I think it needs to be said. A lot of you have stopped touching your wives, and I don't mean sexually, I mean at all. You don't hold her hand when you walk through the Target parking lot anymore. You don't put your hand on the small of her back when you're standing in line at the coffee shop. You don't kiss her goodbye when you leave for the hardware store. You've stopped being physically present with her in the small, everyday ways. And here's the thing, gentlemen. Intimacy doesn't just happen in the bedroom. It's built day by day in all those small moments of touch and attention. And when those moments disappear, the bedroom stuff disappears with them. It's not a coincidence. It's cause and effect. So here's my third assignment for you, and this one's maybe the most important one of all. I want you to touch your wife 10 times a day, not sexually, just touch. A hand on her shoulder when she's washing dishes, a kiss on the forehead when she's reading, a hand on her knee when you're watching TV together, a hug from behind when she's making coffee in the morning. 10 touches a day. Now, I'm going to warn you about something. The first few days, your wife is going to look at you like you've lost your mind. She's going to wonder what's gotten into you. She might even ask if you're feeling okay. That's because you've trained her over years to not expect this from you anymore. So be patient. Keep going. Don't explain yourself. Just do it. Because here's what happens. After about a week or two of consistent touch, something shifts. The walls come down. The distance shrinks. She starts touching you back. And slowly, beautifully, the warmth you thought was gone forever starts to come back into your home. I had a gentleman named William, 67, from right here in Scottsdale, who came to see me with his wife, Linda. They'd been sleeping in separate rooms for almost 2 years. Not fighting, just drifted apart. Both of them were heartbroken about it, but neither knew how to fix it. I gave them this assignment, 10 touches a day, both directions. No pressure, no expectations, just touch. 4 weeks later, Linda called my office and she asked to leave a voice message for me. She said, "Dr. Holloway, I just wanted you to know William moved back into our bedroom last Sunday night. He didn't say anything about it. He just came in, got under the covers and held my hand, and I cried for an hour, thank you. That's what we're really after, folks. This was never just about erections. It was always about connection. It was always about coming home to the person you love and remembering who you are when you're with her. Now, let me give you one more practice, because I want you to have everything you need. This one comes from my work with couples over the years, and it's a little out there, but I've seen it work miracles. It's called sitting meditation together, and all it is this. You and your wife sit on the couch or in chairs facing each other. You hold hands, you close your eyes, and you just breathe together for 10 minutes. That's it. No talking, no agenda. Just breathing together, feeling each other's hands. I know. Some of you are rolling your eyes right now. You're thinking, "Dr. Holloway, I'm a practical guy. I don't do this kind of stuff." And that's fine. But before you write it off, I want you to try it just once. One time, 10 minutes. Because what happens during those 10 minutes is something science is only beginning to understand. Your breathing rates synchronize. Your heartbeats actually start to align. Your nervous systems co-regulate. You come into a state of calm and connection that you can't reach alone, and that state, physiologically, is the exact state your body needs to function the way you want it to function. Robert and his wife Margaret started doing this 3 times a week. He told me, "Doc, those 10 minutes have changed my marriage more than the last 5 years combined." Let me bring this all together for you now, because I want you to leave this with a clear picture of what to do. First, 3 minutes of stair climbing every single day, 2 steps at a time, slow and deliberate. This wakes up your pelvic circulation and brings blood where it needs to go. Second, 5 minutes of breathing before bed. 4 in, 4 hold, 8 out. This pulls you out of chronic stress mode and lets your body heal. Third, eat in a way that supports your blood vessels. Berries, greens, nuts, fish, beets, water. Less of the stuff you already know is hurting you. Fourth, 10 touches a day with your wife, non-sexual, just presence, just warmth. Fifth, 10 minutes of breathing together, a few times a week. Hands held, eyes closed, just being. That's it. That's the whole protocol. No pills, no injections, no expensive supplements, no gadgets. Just 5 simple practices that, done consistently, will transform not just your body, but your entire life. And I want to leave you with something Robert said to me on his final visit, about 4 months after we first met. He walked into my office and he sat down and he looked me dead in the eye and he said, "Dr. Holloway, I came in here thinking I was broken. I came in here thinking my best days were behind me. And what you gave me wasn't a cure. What you gave me was my life back. I'm sleeping next to my wife again. I'm holding her hand when we walk through the grocery store. I'm laughing at her jokes again. And yeah, the other stuff came back too, but honestly, that's the smallest part of it." That's what I want for every single one of you listening right now. I want you to stop believing the lie that you're too old, too far gone, too broken to get this back. You're not. You never were. I want you to pick one of those 5 things I just shared with you, and I want you to start today. Not Monday, not the first of the month. Today, right now, go find a staircase. Take 10 deep breaths. Walk over to your wife and put your hand on her shoulder. Start somewhere. Start small. Start now. Because the life you want, the marriage you want, the man you want to be, he's not in some distant future. He's not hiding in a prescription bottle. He's right here, in this moment, in the next decision you make. And I'll tell you something. In my 20 plus years of doing this work, I have never, not once, met a man who regretted starting. I've met plenty who regretted waiting, but never one who regretted beginning. So let today be the day. Let this be the moment you decide that 60, 70, 80 years old doesn't mean the end of anything. It means the beginning of a different chapter, a deeper one, a warmer one, a truer one. Your wife is waiting. Your body is waiting. Your life is waiting. All you have to do is take the first step. Literally, go climb those stairs. I'll be rooting for you, every single one of you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.